Have you ever felt like there was an invisible enemy that no matter how bright of a flashlight that you get, no matter if you got infrared or night vision goggles, no matter what you do, no matter who you talk to, you just can't figure it out? In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify the invisible enemy that is robbing you of your prosperity, of your riches, that is keeping you down in the dumps, keeping you where you are. And in this video, I promise, I know it's a tall task. You just have to be open-minded enough to consider what I'm saying. So just pause your brain for a minute. Just remember when you were a kid and you were open to things. So just go back to that time. And what I want to help you in this video with is identify what type of question you should be asking to make your problem apparent. And more importantly, how to solve it. So this is an exercise I did right here on the call for some of my customers the other day, agents that I'm working with. And it's basically, one of my friends, Simon, gave this to me. You put rocks around you that you feel are like blocking your way out of wherever you are right now, whatever life circumstance, situation that's being thrown at you. You write down all these rocks. Some of the examples I gave for the agents I was on there was like social media, pornography, families, taxes, fast food, business, feeling alone. And more importantly, I'll give you one of the problems I was thinking about earlier and how I kind of solved it. And I'll build this with you in real time. So the thing I was facing was I was looking at how to make more sales to agents, how to get more of the right customers into my program or in my business. And for sales, I wanted to define that very clearly on how I view it, or my definition of what sales looks like to me, why I do it. Is this like, I see an agent drowning over here in the ocean. It's not really an ocean, it's just a kiddie pool. You can stand up at any time. And I'm trying to throw him a life raft to save him. And I'm like, let me save you. It's like, I've thought about your problem more than you have. It's like, just let me help you. Just be open-minded, try it. And they're like, no, I don't deserve to be saved. And they hid it away and they give me some false belief, some objection. It's really just some fear. All objections are rooted in fear. So, and the deeper the roots, the more you repeat that behavior, like it's gonna stay there until you try something new, all right? It's what the law of requisite variety is about. It's all about flexibility of behavior. How quickly can you shift from doing something that's not working to what is working? And the funny thing is, usually, it's identifying what used to work that no longer does. What the problem was, I was looking, how can I make more sales? And I'll give you where this problem rooted from. This might be a useful exercise for you, is like chunking up and down in terms of your problems, meaning what does this affect, what caused this, and you start building a hierarchy of how this came to be and what's gonna happen downstream. I like running out these different mental frames and processes. It helps me build the systems around like what I'm about to show you. So for the last 3 or 4 years, I've viewed myself as an entrepreneur. And for most people, like Mason, how on earth is that a problem? Well, I didn't view myself as a business person. And so what did I do? I kept doing entrepreneurial things like trying to find the new shiny object, trying to find the new problem to solve, trying to find the new obstacle to overcome, trying to find the new offer to create, trying to find the new sales pitch, trying to find the new webinar. I was trying to find all this new stuff rather than hunkering down around what I already have built and consolidating and condensing. It's the crazy thing. My uncle called me not too long ago. He's like, hey, we have this many credit cards that we're in this much debt. I was like, have you tried just putting it all in one? It's like the credit cards ain't what killing you. It's that APR. It's that compounding negative interest rate. All right, so it blows my mind. People will go refinance their houses after they've already ate the negative principal charges or the negative interest charges in like the first 5 years. Like, well, we need a lower payment. It's like, no, but you need to pay that some bitch off faster, okay? So the problem was I viewed myself as an entrepreneur, and that identity is how I identified myself, not as a he, him, she, her, but as an entrepreneur. That's what my self-perceived self-image was. I'm an entrepreneur. When people ask me what I did, I'm an entrepreneur. It sounds cool, right? Not for the current stage of business I was in. What gets you to level 1 will not get you to level 2. It took me forever to understand what people like Alex Hormozy or Russell Brunson or Jason Fladley and any of them ever said when they came to this. Where was I going with that? I digress. I'm getting deep over here. So I viewed myself as an entrepreneur, rather than a business person. So I always look for the new thing, the shiny new object, okay? Rather than look for how can I put systems in place around the problems that I have. And so, because I'm entrepreneurial minded, all right, currently. So I had to think with a business owner hat on, and like, that's now what I realized that I have to start viewing myself as to get to the next part of life or the journey or the business or the goal that I want, which is to sell 100 million policies, even though I'm not going to get paid for those. I've got some crazy lofty stuff and I'd love your help with it. So the current problem is I'm not making enough, like the amount of sales that I want to. I was like, okay, but what am I selling? Like, what do I need to sell? And what part of the journey do I need to, and I was like, I don't have my new, like my updated customer journey built. I haven't done anything for this new offer or anything, or I haven't segregated all of my, I do have tags around all of my leads and stuff like that, but I haven't fully delved in and built like a pipeline and order and sequence and where they are in their journey out in my business. It's like, oh my God, that was hiding from me in plain sight. But how I got there was not asking, what is the solution to my problem? Here's the magical question that if and when you ask it, will help you identify the invisible enemy and what your solution is. And there's two possible ways I believe this can play out. And I'll make another video in the future because I just thought of this as I was walking around the block. Because I mean, it is 12:19. I do my best thinking around nighttime for some reason. It's like when the rest of the world is asleep and they're not downloading from the global conscience that is the world and God. Because God is everything, all the time, everywhere. He's really cool. He's my best friend. And what I was thinking, like, I'm asking the wrong problem. Like, I'm asking the wrong question. It's not what is the solution to my problem. It's what is the problem to my solution. Like, what problem, if I invent, manufacture, create, curate, will be the answer to, like, it will be the next logical problem in sequence. It's like, not what is the next thing I do, but what is the thing I do after that. It's skipping ahead in the sequence. That way you can reverse engineer. You have something to compare it to and contrast, and you work by subtraction rather than addition. So that's the question you should ask yourself. Write that down. What problem, if I invent, will create the solution to my current problem? What problem, if I create, if I invent, if I manufacture, what problem, if I invent, will create the solution to my current problem, which is, you name it, not enough sales, not healthy enough, not enough weight, not enough romance in my relationship. What problem, if I created in my relationship, would invent the solution to my current problem? Well, if my current problem in, let's say, was my relationship, what if I invented a new way for us to do it? And there you go. Now you have to create the solution, add some spice in the bedroom, whatever you gotta do. I don't know, that's just where my brain went right there. You can tell what I think of. So, if you're a man and you pretend you don't think about sex, there's something seriously wrong with you. That doesn't mean you give in to flesh desires all the time and stuff. Like, thoughts cross, it's biology. Don't feel wrong for being your damn self. You are a dude. It is natural for you to think about that stuff. And believe it or not, ladies do too, if not just as much or more as us. It's so fun. They just want to be let off the hook. They don't want to feel like a hoe for liking to do that stuff. It blows my mind, the rationalization and the reasons they give themselves for doing things. But I digress. Let's go back to the point. What problem, if I create, will invent the solution to my current problem? And so my problem was, I'm not making enough sales. So what I had to think of is like, what problem, if I create, will invent the solution to my current problem? Or show me what I need to do to solve it is another way to think about that. And back to finish the previous example about how I view sales. Sales, like I keep throwing that life raft out there and they keep hitting it back, and it's a game of pitch and catch the whole time with false belief and my positive belief and false belief. And it's like, most people believe that sales is done, it's like a program against you rather than a program with you. It's like, it's do it against you, do it to you, rather than do it with you, do it for you. Like, that's how I view sales, done with you, done for you. It's of service. Most people believe that sales is something you do to people or against people, like you're trying to win something over. That's how most people do it. Because they believe that, because of their identity, that sales is bad, don't trust her, anything like that, they're going to do things to match that self-image. And naturally, they know that they don't want to be good at something that they're bad at. They don't want to be good at something they perceive as bad or will make them be seen as bad. Like, oh, I'm a salesperson and people hate you. No, understand that. Because you believe it is bad, you will invent a way to prove that to be true. If you believe sales is bad, you will try to convince people to buy your thing. That way you have a lower chance of succeeding. See the thing, what problem, if invented, will invent the solution to my current problem? Well, your problem is that you think something is wrong with selling, or you think sales is bad, so what do? You invent your arguments, your presentation, whatever, around convincing people rather than persuading them of their own reason, getting them to do things for their own accord. People don't want to buy for your reasons. They want to buy for theirs, okay? So back to this, right? Like, if you do that question and that's my challenge to you. Write that question down, and when you get your answer, not if, because you're not dumb. I can't stand why lead vendors and other people in this industry treat you like you're stupid and you don't know what you need to do. You absolutely do. Maybe you just haven't been shown or heard the right way to frame it. You don't have the right belief to govern the activity. It's more advanced. We'll go on a different thing about that, but I don't like the way people treat agents. It's so disgusting. Once again, they do it against you, not do it for you. These garbage leads. So anyway, what I came up with to a solution with my problem is a pipeline. So I have all these tags based on where someone comes in on my funnels, what funnels they come in. And so what I need to do is just go build a pipeline that kind of identifies the customer journey. So when people opt, and I could build this pipeline based on awareness levels, but I'll somehow tie that in with what I'm about to do. And I'm building this live with you. So if I was looking at building a pipeline for my current business based on agents and where they are, I'd start off with they're probably coming in as a brand new lead. And how I'm gonna specify that for myself is I could do it based on how new they are to me, because most of my customers on average take 6 months to buy something. I know, knowing stuff about that, your customers, will shape your decisions. And it also shows them that you've been thinking more about them than you have yourself. If you want to solve your problems, what you need to do is go find your audience's problem, the people you want to sell's problem, and solve theirs, and they will solve yours. It's usually not a what, but a who that you want and need. So the first part of my customer journey is if they opted in. I'm not even going to call that a lead yet. When is a lead a lead? When they say, tell me more, what do you got, how much does it cost? It's when they lean in to hear your offer. Right now, they're just trying to see if it's for them or not. They don't know anything to judge or view it from. So opt in. And that could just be for a low-level lead, a newsletter opt-in, they're just trying to find out more or anything, or see if it's even for them. So that's how I'm going to signify that. And then maybe they register end goal is customer. Now what I'm going to have to do is build multiple pipelines based on what funnel they come in, because all of them are going to have a different sequence of events, and I'm going to treat them differently based on what type of offers I'm trying to sell them. If someone's coming in for a $16,000 offer that I have, or the $50,000 offer that I have, or the $100,000 offer that I have, I'm going to walk each one of them through differently. While they're spending more money, they value different things. So the $100,000 customer, I'm going to basically have 2 or 3 steps. That's it. Now for the next customer, I might have more. This person might just hop on a sales call with me one-on-one or something. That'd be worth my time to do. Maybe they only have 1 step or something like that. But the other person, the $16,000 customer, maybe they have to go through more, because sometimes they headaches and you can't pay me enough to give me a headache. So Maybe they'll go through a 3-step process where they have to attend a webinar, sign up for this and buy that, or they have to be an existing customer to access this program. There's lots of different ways to think about this, and I'm trying to go pretty deep that way you understand my philosophy, the why behind I'm doing this, and the storyline I'm currently walking myself through. Because he who teaches learns twice. I'm selfishly doing this video. This is advice to myself. You just get to listen into it, all right? So, all jokes aside, by the way, if you're not on the newsletter, you should go check that out. But more importantly, go join the Slack channel below in the description in the comments. It's awesome. You can ask any questions in there without paying me $1. And if I don't answer it, one of my agents I've trained will answer it. So go get all your insurance questions that your upline keeps giving you the same garbage advice of buy more leads, dial more, keep trading time for money and become a slave. That advice, that ship has already sailed. It left years ago when leads stopped being so efficient. So when you got 1,000 people calling the same lead, it ain't even a lead no more. That's a funeral. So I'm gonna walk people through from opt-in to customer, what problem if created, invent the solution to my current, or will be the solution to my current problem. It depends on how you sequence things in time. So, and why this is so powerful is because you're flipping the frame. You're thinking in a different process. The same conscious that created a problem will never be the same conscious or thinking that solves the problem. You have to think differently. You have to ask yourself different questions. What I mean by that is you can change the order and sequence. Maybe if you're using an adjective, use an adverb over here. Maybe change the definition, find the antonym. There's tons of different ways to structure questions differently or emphasize different parts of the question to get you to focus. Like, what information are you focusing on? So that you have to think. Maybe if you're asking a when in your question, ask a where instead, or ask a what, or ask a how, or ask a why. Instead of what do I need to do, why do I need to do it, what, like when, where, how, why. Use different things, okay? Change the subject, change a noun. Play with language. It'll do funny things. It's almost like when you listen to Natasha Bedingfield's I am unwritten. How does the song start off with? It immediately starts. Maybe that's terrible off beat. I'm not a musician, all right? That's not my self-image. But it immediately starts, when I hear that, I think of it's pulling my heartstrings immediately. I personally believe that's why that song is so damn catchy right off the get-go. And then the lyrics are really good. They paint very good word pictures and still positive emotions. So language is everything. If you want to take over the world, you have to understand the word, okay? And remember, sales is done with you, not against you. Most people just treat it like the latter. So opt-in, they become or this could be different types of customers. So now they're in mastermind. Now they're in the webinar program where I run agents' webinars for them. I make all the insurance sales. They keep all the commissions. They write all the policies. Webinar tier 2. And then they have the tier 1 customers. And maybe they initiated a free trial. Because what is each one of these telling me? Well, when someone opts in, I know that maybe they're interested in something, so I'm gonna offer them a free trial, or maybe they opted in from a free trial. Like, this is just my thoughts behind it, and I'm selfishly creating this for myself as well. So I'm just building out the customer journey I want to send people through and how I'm going to build my pipeline around it. But those are my thoughts around this. It's not what is the answer to my problem? Ask the inverse. Use deductive versus inductive thinking. It's like, what problem, when invented, will be the answer to my current problem, or will show me the answer to my current problem? So how this could show me the thing is maybe this is completely wrong. I'm about 2 hours old into this. I'm now a business person rather than an entrepreneur. So I have to develop the neurology for that. Full transparency. A brother needs some help over here. Cut me some slack. All right. Actually, don't. Excellence is the non-negotiable. It's the expectation. Like, it's one thing, there was a football player who when he scored, he acted like it was nothing. It was just expected. It was normal. And in life, we don't get what we want, we get what we are. So change your expectations, because you will never get what you want. You will always get what you expect if they're in opposition. So how it showed me the answer to this problem, because now I created a new one. The problem, like, this could be the answer to making more sales, because I can either hire someone to come in and do all this, and what this is going to tell me is who I need to send offers to based on where they are in their journey. I'm going to treat this person a lot differently than I'm going to treat this person. While they're at different steps, they have different values. I have to meet my customers where they are. Believe it or not, not all your customers are just anybody who has a credit card and a heartbeat, or two. Like, not everybody is my girlfriend who has 2 tits, a hole, and a heartbeat. I understand that. I ain't trying to date all of them. And some of them just ain't worth it. Anyways, that's my thinking behind all this. And I hope you got something out of this brain dump. Like I said, I selfishly did this for me. You just got to listen in. But I know that I have to create this system. And I either have to find someone who's already done this at a different company and who's really phenomenal at it, because this is not my strong suit. I ain't about all these systems and stuff. I'm the face of the business, but I have to put on the business cap for right now. I'm the attractive character, as Russell Brunson would call it, or Dan Kennedy. I'm the attractive character for the business. I'm who brings everybody in. I understand the customers better than anybody else. So I'm really gonna stay behind the marketing and the product creation. It's what I'm best at. And the video, like, I love doing this. I love doing this. I love doing my webinars. It's what I'm best at. I've really fallen off in my one-on-one sales ability, because I've really hunkered down on this and quit learning about one-on-one sales stuff. Mastering mass market sales, like more like one to many, it's a whole different ball game. We'll get you level 1, we'll get you to level 2. So I believe it is all for this. So remember, sales is done with you, not against you. Ethical sales are, at least, because the opposite also must exist. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And that's why I like this. It's comparative thinking. Our brains exist by contrast. You have to have something to calibrate or compare it to or with. All right, so you wouldn't know what a good apple tasted like if you never had a bad one. All right. The only difference between a problem and a solution is the story you tell yourself about it. All right, or how you view it. It's your perception, what you think of it. If I went to the water park, that was a good day, quote unquote. I could have viewed it as a bad day. So there's my thinking behind all this. Hope this helped you. If you want a free cheat sheet around this, just join the Slack channel. I'll have this as like a PDF. I'm gonna put together a little workshop or an exercise that when you do this, I'll do all the brain dump for you. I'm gonna make like a one-sheeter that if you answer all the questions, will show you exactly what the answer to your current problem is. And that concludes with answering and delivering on my promise. Maybe it wasn't how you liked it, but like I said, if you're open-minded, I hope you got something out of this, truly. Because this is one of my most favorite videos I've done in a while. And I love not having to read from, people ask me all the time, how are your videos so because they're scripted. Most of them are scripted. I use I'm not sure if you can see a reflection anywhere, but I use a teleprompter for 90% of my stuff. Why? Because it's concise, or it's picked apart different pieces of different things that work well in unison. So then a good 25% of them. So 75% scripted, 25% are off the cuff. They used to all be off the cuff, and I needed some systemizing, whatever you want, whatever the word is. Like I said, a brother needs some help. My brain's all jumbled right now, and I like it. It's when I make the most amount of progress, because I've been slacking for the last month. So there's my answer to my current problem, or at least it showed it to me, is that once I do this, I'll know where my customers are. I'll know what to sell them. The problem is I'm trying to sell one thing or a whole bunch of different things to a whole bunch of different people. I don't know who's who and what's what anymore. I don't know up from down. So hope you enjoyed the video. I digressed a lot, but oh well. I'll see you on the next one.